up, Shay Bae? It's your girl Simply Shay here, back with yet another video. Today for our segment Ladies Corner, it will be a continuation of the word of the day from Tuesday, which is I am still here. So without further ado, let's
Simply Shay, Simply Shay.
Hey Shay with the word of the day. Rumble with the things you say. It's your girl Simply Shay. This is the word of the day. It's Simply Shay. It's Simply Shay. It's Simply Shay.
Simply Shay, Simply Shay. Shay, 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 Shay.
Simply Shay.
Simply Shay, Simply Shay, Simply Shay.
Alright, Shay Bae, so like I said, today's word of the day is I'm still here. This is part 2. In Tuesday's video, I'm still here part 1, I shared with you all my personal testimony or bits and pieces of it. And so for Ladies Corner today, I just kind of wanted to talk a little bit more in depth from a young woman and losing like her father aspect, just for our Ladies Corner. So for me, I was just graduated, so I was 17 years old once my father was like convicted and all of that. It literally all happened like very, very quick. It was obviously, I mean, no opportunity to really like say bye, and obviously we didn't go into that final hearing or whatever, that final day, thinking that like we weren't gonna walk back out with my dad. And so seeing or hearing the verdict, and then it's like, okay, now he's gone, was super traumatizing. I can remember going home. First, getting out of the courtroom was really hard for me. My mom and I think it was 2 of my siblings that were there. Getting out of the courtroom was very hard for us. People had to like hold us up to get us out of the entire building. And even just getting in the car, I can remember sitting in the back seat and just crying. And getting home, and it's like having to tell my siblings, gosh, I said I wasn't gonna cry in this video. You know, getting home and having to tell the rest of my siblings, and I can just remember just laying across my bed, feeling just so numb and just like my life was over. Honestly, that's how I felt. Like, obviously not the case because I'm still here, but that's kind of, you know, that was the emotion for me, because for me, my dad was my best friend. My dad, I tell you guys all the time about how the precedent that my dad set for me when it came to what to accept and not to accept out of a relationship, simply because like my dad spent time with me. My dad was at my plays, at my mom too, like, but for this video, we're just talking about that father-daughter relationship. But, you know, we would just go on random rides and talk and get ice cream. And, you know, I would talk to him literally for hours about books that I'm reading, like 500-page plus books. And he would sit the whole time and actively engage. Actively, he would call me weird, but still, when it came to like my music choice, if there was like a rock song or a country song that I really liked, he would still at least listen to it, even if, you know what I mean? Well, I mean, I kind of like it. I see, you know, he definitely was that type of father. And so to all of a sudden have him taken out of my life, it was very hard for me. I can remember there being a time where when I went away to college, that a friend of mine's car like was out of gas or something, and me and her had no clue like how to even operate a gas can. We walked to the gas station and had no clue how to even operate a gas can, and I'm like, gosh, this is something like my dad could have taught me. You know, and even having a moment when something with my car, I think it was the battery, was dead or something, and I'm like, okay, well, who do I call? Because in my mind, like, that's supposed to be a dad's job. And just random instances in my life over the past 6 years where I've just been like, man, I really wish my dad was here to see this. I really wish my dad was able to see me walk across the stage when I graduated college. Yeah, he was there for my high school graduation, so, you know, I take the blessing in that, but I wish he was there to see me graduate, college. I almost didn't go to college. It was because of him, pushing me and saying, hey, no, this will not stop you. We've already visited the dorm. I thank God that he had the opportunity to at least see the campus and all of that of the college that I wanted to go to before the hearing and stuff. But, it was because of him that I even decided to leave home and go, because I didn't want to leave my family. And so just being a teenager at that time, and even now, being, a young woman or whatever, it definitely gets hard sometimes. Being transparent, it is a fleshly fear, something that I always have to no, we believe what God, I believe what God said and all of that to myself, is a fear that my dad won't be able to walk me down the aisle when I get married. That is oh my gosh, one of my biggest, always having to say, no, we believe God this long. You know what I mean? I'm always having to tell myself that. So as a young woman, kind of entering into womanhood without her father in her life, one of the main things that helped me get through it, and that I want to encourage all young women of whatever age, whether you're a teenager, whether you're a child even, or a young woman, is allow God to be what you're missing. There's a song by Travis Green called Daddy's Home, and I remember the very first time that I heard it, the song starts where, it's saying to the people who are hurting, to the people who feels like, something's missing in your life. I hear the Spirit of the Lord saying, that I was there at your ball game. I was there at your graduation. And when I heard that, it was around the time when I was preparing to graduate college and stuff like that, and the song just really just made me cry, because I'm just man, Lord, it's real when they say that you're a comforter. It's real when they say you're a father to the fatherless. It's real when when they say all of these things that God is and can be for us and desires to be for us. It is very, very real, and all we have to do is allow him. I had to allow God, and still am having to allow God to be my father in this time. Allowing him to fill that void that is there from my father not being here. To feel that hurt and that feeling of, man, who do I talk to now about this? Or who do I, you know what I mean? Because for each of your parents, you have certain things you talk to mom about and ask mom for, and certain things that you talk to dad about and ask dad for. And so it's that was taken away. And so I definitely want to encourage, and not just the young women, I can only talk to how it affected me. It affected my brothers a little bit different than it affected me. And that's not my testimony to tell or my story to tell. So I can only so much give for the young men that may be watching this without a father figure in their lives or a father in their lives. But the message and the encouragement is still the same. Allow God to be what you're missing. In every aspect of my life, both as a father, but even in a relationship aspect, I have allowed God to be everything that I feel like I am missing out of life. Hey, I feel lonely sometimes. You know what, God? Until you're ready to send me a boyfriend, husband, whatever, I'm going to submit myself to you. And you know what I mean? Allow you to be that and fill that void. Allow you to take the time to show me how to be a mother, how to be a wife, how to be a good, how to be everything it is that I'm feeling like I'm missing. And so I just encourage you all to allow God to fill your voids. Allow God to be who he promised us to be. Allow him to fill you in such a way, not that it erases the feeling, because as you guys can see, I still am a little emotional about it, and that was 6 years ago. So yes, I still miss my father. Yes, you know what I mean? It still is hard sometimes, but it's nowhere near as hard as it could have been had it not been for God. And again, it's the reason why I'm constantly praying. It's the reason why I stay at his feet. It's a reason why I stay in a position where I'm always listening for his voice. Hey, God, are you telling me to take this? Literally as simple as my ride home. God, should I turn this way and take this street, or should I just keep going straight? And it's a faith factor about it, because you think, well, Shaylin, like, that's something so simple. Why do you have to ask God which way to take home? But it's because he could be helping me avoid an accident. He could be, you know what I mean? Anything. Helping me avoid an accident. Helping me avoid, you know, something else. Or to help having me take a little bit of longer route so he can talk to me a little bit longer. Like, having me take a different route so I can see something that I didn't notice before and come and bring it to you guys in a video. You know what I mean? And so everything in life that happens for a reason. Everything in life, every hand that you're dished out, or whatever people say, you know, it's given to you for a reason. It's given to you first and foremost because God saw fit enough to trust you to be able to go through it the right way.